It's been one whole year since an anime season has been as hyped up as this one. The spring 2022 anime season is one of the most packed seasons that we had in years. Love is War is back with the third season with its over-the-top animation, one of the most popular manga finally getting an anime, Komi-san, Shield Hero, Date Alive, the best girl show everyone will talk about for the next 3 months just to forget about her as soon as the anime ends. This season has a full package. You want an isekai, harem, sports anime, slice of life, romantic comedy, there's just everything. This is simply just the best season we ever had in a while. What the fuck did I just watch?
Spy mission. Waku waku. Anya, 音の出ないピストル欲しい。父ものすごい嘘つき。
You know, every year there is that time when a super popular manga finally gets an anime adaptation and every single Twitter post will be about it, making you sick of the show before it even starts airing. But somehow with Spy Family, I just never seen anyone ever mentioning it. So when I checked out what animes will we have for this season, to my surprise it's one of the most popular manga on Mall. What? From the trailer, I already knew that we are in for something big and the first episode didn't disappoint me at all. It has action where you will actually feel like that the main character's life is at stake, a promising premise of world peace being in the hand of a fabricated family, and also it just wholesome as fuck. The story is about an ongoing state of Cold War between the nation of Ostania and Vestalis, and about its most talented spy, Twilight, who is on a top secret mission known as Operation Strix. Takes on the identity of Lloyd Forger, which you're definitely not supposed to spell like that. He has to put together a family in just 1 week. I wish I could, but there is just nothing I can say so far that will be negative. It has a great premise with characters that actually do what they should be about. A spy that is always on full alert, noticing even the smallest mistakes and just acting like an actual spy. Anya being an actual child, making mistakes, constantly wanting attention, just again acting like an actual child. And Yor being an assassin, well I don't know what she's like cause it's not animated yet. Well, you know, golf is one of those sports that our generation isn't really interested in and just no one watch or play it anymore. So as I said, golf is one of the best sports in existence. Golf is my favorite, I love playing golf. I love watching the European tour and we anime fans are grateful for an anime that actually represents what golf should be about. Ooh, what is this? Best girl alert, best girl alert. You know, every single season we have that one show where it's clear who is the best girl. We had Nagatoro, Komi-san, Marin, and now Shikimori-san. I mean, just look at her doing a flying jump kick, getting a perfect score in bowling, catching a newspaper without even looking. Yeah, one of those might not be as impressive. I mean, everyone can do a flying jump kick. Watching the show, it's clear that we are here for another best girl of the season, but at the same time somehow the anime just couldn't really keep me interested. Whenever a new show airs, the biggest question is what it's about. And for this show, no one really knows. Yes, I know it's a slice of life, and I'm literally the person that always says that these animes don't need an interesting story. It's just about normal people's everyday life. But still, this show is just missing something. For slice of lives, it's not that it doesn't have a goal, it's just that it's a goal that we can all achieve. Like I want to learn an instrument, I want to create cosplays. This show doesn't really feel like it will have any sort of goal, and in all honesty, it just kinda... Next to all the new animes, we also have quite a lot of sequels that people are really interested about. So let me just, you know, speedrun through them. After 3 years of waiting, the Shield Hero is back with the second season, where Naofumi is already done with his own nation, preparing to counter the next wave. But an unexpected plot twist happens. Wait for it. Just a little bit more. The fucking turtle from Avatar got resurrected and it wants to destroy the entire world. What a plot twist, that's my isekai, 10 out of 10. Date Alive with its 4th season and 4th studio, yep 4th, back with another banger of a start with another new girl that cannot wait to be trapped by Shido. Or is she the trap? Yep, she's definitely a trap. We also have the second season of Komi-san and I would be a lot more excited if I would watch the first season. I wonder why I never watched it. Oh. Love is what is back to, and I mean, what new can I say about it? It's one of the best romantic comedy where the comedy actually means something rather than just focusing on the romance side of it. Truly an amazing show that never fails to amaze me. An actual modern classic that's being made in front of our own eyes. Science fell in love, so I tried to prove it is a romantic comedy where the comedy actually means something rather than just focusing on the romance side of it. Wait, it's the exact same plot. Why is my screen glitching? Ooh, titties! I swear I've seen this guy before. What do you mean by shadows? Did she just... Ooh, titties again. If I have to pick one anime that I like the most from this season, it has to be Summertime Render. I don't think there's any other anime that piqued my interest as much as this for quite a while. The story, the animation, the soundtrack, everything just felt perfect. Our main character, Ajiro Shinpei, aka Miyamura, returns to his hometown for the first time in 2 years, cause his childhood friend Ushio Kofune died in an accident. As we go through the first half of the episode, there is nothing different in it than a normal slice of life. Yet I just constantly had this feeling of mystery, that something is just not right, that there is something we don't know, a feeling of that we shouldn't trust anyone, a constant of oh my fucking god. And the anime did its best to keep us reminded that this is not a slice of life, by just constantly adding scenes that didn't make any sense, yet gave you an understanding of where this show is going. It teases you with a piece of information but doesn't forces it on you, it makes you constantly think. I'm not going to spoil anything more about this show cause the feeling of figuring out yourself is what makes it so good.
Monkey.
Aharen-san was a pleasant surprise for me. In all honesty, I thought that this is going to be another I'm going to tease my senpai for no fucking reason why I only got to know 5 minutes ago type of show. But it's actually surprisingly wholesome. Our main characters, Reina and Mitsubishi, are two antisocial persons that just started high school and is sitting next to each other. Matsuboshi wants to change, so he tries to talk to her, and that's what the show will be for 12 episodes. Two kids just trying to figure out how the hell are you supposed to communicate with each other. Sometimes too far, sometimes too close. It's nothing over the top and just a cute and wholesome anime that everyone can enjoy. We also have the random seasonal mappa anime of giraffes in human costumes. Clover works with its female ninjas that never seen a man before and only thinks of them as stinky, monkey-brained idiots. Well, you can't really argue with that. The only one that thinks differently of them is the main character who is really interested. Wait a minute, rewind that? Did she just? Not in my Christian anime. We also have Deaimon, which looks like a cute slice of life about running a sweet shop, but it's actually a slice of life about running a sweet shop and a lot of pain. The last football anime I can remember is Captain Tsubasa, which was quite a while ago. Production IG, the studio behind some of the biggest sports animes such as Haikyuu and Kuroko's Basketball, decided to animate Aoashi, basically the perfect recipe for the next big sports anime. One of the best studios when it comes to sport animes, combined with one of the most popular sports that didn't have a good anime in 40 years. In theory, everything is perfect, except that no one cares about the show. No one talks about it, no one watches it. And there's a simple answer why. It got completely overshadowed by another football anime that comes out this year, Blue Lock, one of the most popular award-winning sports manga. And I have a feeling that Production IG originally wanted to animate this manga, considering how these two animes are releasing at around the same time. Despite that, Aoashi was still fairly enjoyable and it still has a chance to have a sudden spike in popularity, like Haikyuu and Kuroko's Basketball had. Even if you are not a fan of football, you should still give it a try. One of the most popular anime category is Isekai. And quite surprisingly, this season we only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. You ever thought of being so powerful that you just want to die? Well, the most powerful demon lord, Varvato's dream was to live a much simpler life, and a few millennia later, he was reborn as the villager, Art Meteor. The first episode doesn't really focus on the story itself and is more just about him trying to make friends, trying to act like a normal human. Overall, it kind of gave me this Anos vibes of being overpowered, but instead of flexing it, he tries to hide it. I'm going to be honest, the first episode was really boring. But there was a time skip at the end of the episode, so the story can go anywhere. Although I don't think it will be good. Leon, our main character, is forced by his little sister to play a female-dominated dating simulator that he absolutely hates. The story, the characters, the world building, just nothing really makes sense for him, to a point where he spends his own money just to finish the game. As he takes a break, he sleeps and gets reincarnated into the Otome game. But instead of as a main character, he reincarnates as a random NPC, which he's totally fine with. Well, at least until he's forced to marry someone, but I mean, how bad can she be? Oh, Jesus Christ and Saint Joseph. You know what? I think I see the problem. That's the point where he's like, you know what? Fuck it. Let me just use what I know about the game. So he just takes the ship he bought in his previous life, says fuck you to his stepmom cause he's rich now, and joins the school where the main story happens. Which he doesn't really want to interfere with, but the one thing that he keeps noticing is that the main character of the game isn't the main character anymore. A fairly solid isekai with a decent story. There's just one small thing that quite a lot of people pointed out, which is the character design. And you know, it's quite normal. A lot of people love to hate on everything, but there's a genuine problem when even the illustrator of the manga is embarrassed about it. Out of all the isekais, Skeleton Knight has to be my favorite. The story itself is super simple. Arc gets reincarnated as his own MMO character, the Skeleton Knight, an insanely overpowered character. But he doesn't just uses it the way like other isekais do. The story doesn't have like a main villain or just any sort of villain. The story is just much more about him wanting to experience different things, different people, just everything that exists in this MMO world. There's nothing special, yet I just really enjoyed it. Mainly because for once in isekai history, the main character is a likable, normal person with a somewhat evil love. Yeah, Boy Kongming is going to be the most underrated show for this season. Just imagine one of the biggest military leaders in our history getting reincarnated in a modern day Japan, using military tactics to make his friend a famous musician. Yeah, Boy Kongming is such a weird and random show that it just shouldn't be good, yet it's just so well executed that it's one of my favorite anime from this season. Tomodachi Game is a really popular manga about 5 close friends that goes to the same school, who were just collecting 2 million yen for a school trip. But unfortunately someone stole that money. The next day, someone convinced them with fake messages to meet up where they get attacked and forced into this Tomodachi Game, where apparently one of the 5 of them has a 20 million yen debt. And 2 million of it just got paid out, confirming that it was one of the 5 of them that stole the money. But who is it? By playing this game, the person that has the debt will get repaid, so they all agree that no matter who has the debt, they are good friends, they will help each other. The only problem is that these games they have to play are all focused on making each other doubt, without ever revealing who's the person that is sabotaging. Psychological games, the end of their friendships, love hexagons, even XQC's chat appear in one of the games. And that was all the enemies from the new season that were worth mentioning. I really hope you enjoyed this video. There was just so much work behind it. So please don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next week.
Fuck it up, hit me up. Baby too sweet, little buttercup. Go with us, doing drugs. I don't wanna say it more than once. How do I get so much? Baby, I do enough. Drink another, what's up?